Hello guys and gals, me Alex, and welcome back to another, you know what, I'm not even going to call these rant times, we're going to call it a discussion time, because you're just listening to me bitch about something random, and you guys can have a discussion in the comment section, but please don't turn it into a turf war, that would be much appreciated. But ladies and gentlemen, today I wanted to talk about on the topic of video game addiction. Now, this has been surfacing around on the news quite a bit lately, and honestly, it's kind of getting under my skin because the media, as we all know, loves to blow things out of proportion, making it sound like things are, as we're jacking up heroin up our buttholes and what wonderfulness, but it's not necessarily that. Video game addiction is an actual thing. I'm not going to sit here and deny it, like saying adults don't know what they're talking about. It is a real thing, and I agree to an extent. Now, let me explain myself here. What video game addiction I see, and it as we see currently, it takes a lot of place in mostly, I believe in China is one of being number one in video game addiction, and I believe the US falls right below that, but nothing we don't want to be number one about. But still, what's quite interesting about it is that I believe there's a story where somebody died playing League of Legends in a cafe, I believe, and it's just because they didn't get up. They literally invested so much time into playing League of Legends or, whatever. I believe it was League of Legends, that they didn't get enough blood circulation through their legs and ended up dying in the cafe. Now, that's quite fucking brutal. I mean, I know people say League is cancerous and all, but god damn, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta get up and move occasionally. And it's not just that alone. It really comes down to when people, invest a lot of time into a game. And don't get me wrong, right now, I'm getting tired, not tired, but I'm kind of stepping away from PC games right now, and I've been investing in a lot of my PlayStation time, and I'm enjoying it, but obviously I have a job and I have a life I have to, maintain in the process. Some people kind of throw that all away, and they really do throw it all away and, invest all their lifetime, savings, money, all that sort of stuff into a game. Like, look at Elsword, for instance. I use that as an example because I played that game for quite a bit. And honestly, I kind of wanted to pour a shitload of money into it, but I never did. I probably spent like $5, got some microtransaction, which, we've all given in once in a while. And I just bought like a sword or two, and that was it. And after that, I've kind of backed off. I've wanted to do it again, but, I didn't. But it's not necessarily the whole issue that's going on. And I really, really believe this addiction, when I put quotations in the air when I say that, it really comes down to, I think what really influences it more is it's kind of like a gambling addiction. And loot boxes, microtransactions all play a massive toll into that. And it kind of adds to the addiction. Considering like loot boxes, I know are now banned in certain parts of, I believe, Germany, somewhere in Asia, and I don't believe it's banned in the US yet, but on the European side of things, it definitely is banned in certain countries because it is considered a form of gambling or online gambling. And it really is, if you look at it one way or the other, because you look at Overwatch, for instance. I mean, you could buy loot boxes for fucking days and you'll be surprised what you can get out of it. Down to Call of Duty, Battlefield, even I believe Rainbow Six Siege even has it too now. I mean, even League of Legends down to it. You just kind of want to, and it's interesting because you do want to see more. You want to get more out of it. It becomes an addiction. Now, what's even more interesting on this topic is that journalists have been, or the scientists as they're quoting, or the specialists, are saying video game addictions is as close as to alcohol addiction or a drug addiction. Now, honestly, I think that's kind of blown out of proportion. I would say it's more of a psychedelical issue. It's more, you lose track of time to the point where you don't realize that you need to maintain a part of your body that, like blood circulation. You got to feed yourself. You got to drink. You got to do, you got to stay active. That's how the human body was designed, essentially. Not to sit down all day and, do nothing. Even though, once in a while it doesn't hurt to. I mean, I catch myself sometimes if I get a weekend off and I'm really doing nothing, I'll sit down and play video games all fucking day if I get the chance. But at one point in time, I can't do that. I have to get up. I have to go outside. I have to get a little bit of fresh air, just because not only for my health, but it's good for you, essentially. But aside from that, I don't really heavily agree on the idea of it being, as addictive as drugs and alcohol. But, I can understand what they mean by it, but like I said, I guess the media just blows it a little bit out of proportion in the sense where it's not something that, is super, super scary, because honestly, video games have a lot of pros, just like, with the cons on it. Yes, it does have cons, but the pros are, it's helped with doctors in the past. It's helped some people with disorders, take their mind off things. It definitely helped with depression, and not to, sugarcoat the fire or anything, but I believe there's a story in the UK where a kid ended up killing himself over playing Doki Doki. Honestly, I don't know if it was the game's fault or, the kid was already having problems in the past, but we're not going to jump onto that topic just yet. More or less, I really do think video games do have a good side to it. It does help, people come out of certain issues, even if it is depression, it keeps your mind off things after a while. It's a form of relaxation. It's like a woosah time, as I call it. It definitely has its pros and cons. It's even helped in educational purposes. It's helped, like I said, with doctors. I really can't go into detail about that because I really didn't do too much research on the doctor side of things, but I know doctors in the past have used it to help focus a little bit easier on surgeries and such. Honestly, I sound like an ignorant idiot when I'm coming to this point, but it has its pros and cons. But just like every other drug, and alcohol really has no pros in the end, and like, I guess if you're feeling happy, but that's aside from the point. More or less, video game addiction, it is a real thing, and honestly, it really depends on the aspect of how you take it. Like I said, you can't sit down all day. You can't just sit there and play video games all fucking day. Your eyes need a break. You need to go outside once in a while. You gotta get some of that fresh old oxygen or the tainted oxygen on the outside. Yeah, you gotta go outside and get yourself some of that once in a while. But more or less, ladies and gentlemen, this rant it was not a rant, it was more of a discussion. What do you guys really think about, the video game addiction? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Honestly, I kind of see a midpoint with this. Honestly, it's just I feel like the media is just, making it sound like, bad video games are bad, it's gonna ruin your child's life. It doesn't. Video games don't ruin lives, honestly. Lives ruin lives, essentially, is the way I like to see it. But, I guess it's if you let it ruin your life. And honestly, that is kind of a decision on your own. But again, that can hit different territories and different, subjects in the matter. But let me hear what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, keep it simple, keep it nice and friendly down there. But more or less, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to keep this video going on too long. I know I've been pretty slacking on videos lately, but, a lot of shit's been going on with the weekdays. Just, work has just been happening lately. So it's kind of been, offsetting. But more or less, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. This is me, Alex, and make sure to get up, go outside, get some fresh air, and enjoy your video games responsibly.